Did the list change? Did everybody just move upwards, or we have gas?
It's just gas.
Okay.
There was no type.
I figured. And I figured with the E and G schedules that they'd probably have to stay.
Yeah.
So I just turned in the story. Are you live?
Yeah. Yeah, Mike's a hot.
Hot mics. Hot mics. I'm talking trash to my reporters.
I was just thinking that myself. I guess I never shared that channel, huh? It's just being good idea.
I'm on too.
No.
My mind's
Keep
right up. Come on. My bitch.
Yes. Roman, Delisa, and Final Doctors. Because they're fighting off. Everybody else is good. I think, right? Everybody else is good.
State people a bit. Marcus Guerrero did the. Oh, he was the first. Yeah. Guerrero did.
Would you mind helping him if you have any problems?
Sure.
Thank you.
Can I see you? Thank you.
Fuck us up.
Exactly.
Obviously, we saw you in May when you got your victory last time. What's been the focus in the last 6 months or so?
A gente te viu em maio, quando foi sua última vitória. Qual foi o foco nos últimos 6 meses?
Nos últimos 6 meses estava fazendo a construção na minha casa, mas já terminamos. Mas fazem 5 meses que eu tô, 4 meses e meio que eu tô aqui na American Top Team, né? Tô treinando, tava ajudando o Bochecha, o Marcos Bochecha, que estreou no UFC, né? Ajudei também o Marcelo Gomes, que lutou o Bellator. E agora eu tô aqui, pronto para mais uma guerra. Com certeza vai ser uma grande luta sábado.
For the last 6 months I was building my house, and now but it's done. And for the last 4 months I had the full camp, and I was helping my friends, Marcos Bochecha, Marcelo Home. I was helping my friends in ATT, so for 4 months I was training there, so I'm ready to go.
Very nice. Obviously, for the last, I think, 6 or 7 years, it's been win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. So what do you think, what have you taken out of that experience, and what do you think it's going to take to get consistent victories?
Nos últimos anos você teve vitória, derrota, vitória, derrota. O que você acha que pode fazer de diferente, né, para ter mais consistência com as vitórias?
Com certeza eu tive algumas derrotas, né, nesses anos que eu estou no UFC, mas eu não encaro como derrota, eu vejo como aprendizado. Eu estou um atleta muito mais experiente, muito mais forte, né, e com certeza nesse sábado eu vou emplacar, vou mostrar isso para todo mundo e top 15 me aguardem.
Yeah, I know I have a few losses, but I don't think as I'm losing a fight. It's all about learning, and I know I'm gonna be better this Saturday, and I'm gonna get the W. And top 15 of the heavyweight division, keep their eyes on me.
I like it. What did you think about the matchup with Ben Rothwell? Obviously, a real veteran that's been around for a long time. What did you think about when this was the opponent?
O que você acha do Ben Rothwell como adversário?
O Ben Rothwell é um cara muito duro, é um cara experiente, né? Tem muitas lutas na categoria. É um cara que luta para frente, tem um estilo de luta agressivo, né? Então, com certeza vai ser uma grande luta, uma excelente luta para o público. Eu me acho, né? Eu acho que eu tenho muita explosão, muita velocidade. Eu vou explorar isso na luta a todo momento, né? É uma luta que eu pretendo gastar bastante energia.
Yeah, Ben is a really tough guy. He's aggressive. He's always moving forward. He's heavier, but I think I am an explosive guy, and I'm faster than him. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great show, and I'm willing to put out a lot of energy in the octagon.
I know you have a lot of training partners to work with, but did you work with anybody special to replicate kind of the size that Ben brings in there?
Ele sabe que você tem muitos parceiros de treino lá na academia, mas teve alguém específico para simular a diferença de tamanho ali do Rothwell?
Então, eu tive a ajuda do Zé Colmeia, né? O Rodrigo Nascimento, que lutou há pouco tempo também, trouxe a vitória para a equipe. O Marcelo Gomes também é um cara alto, me ajudou bastante. Tem o Vitor, né, que é um atleta novo ainda, que tem 4 lutas, mas tem 2,8 metros de altura e ajudou bastante a gente no camp.
Yeah, I had a few friends. Zé Colmeia, Rodrigo Nascimento is a UFC fighter as well. Marcelo Home, he's a really tall guy. Plus Vitor is a young fighter. He has just 4 fights, but he has 2.08 meters, 6.7.
6'8".
6'8". Yeah, he's tall. Yeah.
Wow. So what kind of fight do you think we're going to see here? I mean, is this one where you think you can stand and trade with him, or do you think it's going to end up in the clinch a lot, or we're going to see the ground? What type of fight do you think we'll see?
Que tipo de luta você acha que vai acontecer? Mais na distância, mas fala sobre a luta mesmo.
O Ben Rothwell é um cara que vem para a luta, né? Ele busca a luta. Eu tenho o mesmo estilo e com certeza ali eu acho que eu vou estar pronto para fazer wrestling com ele, para fazer jiu-jitsu, para fazer striker com ele. Eu estou pronto para essa luta como eu nunca tive na minha vida.
Ben is an aggressive fighter, and he's always moving forward, but I have the same style. So I'm ready to do wrestling, kickboxing, whatever I have to do, and that's it. I know it's going to be a great fight.
Nice. And last thing for me, I'd just say, I guess, you win here, it's your first 2-fight win streak in a while. It would be a victory over a real veteran in Ben Rothwell. So what do you think would come next? Do you think a ranked opponent? What's the next move?
Se você vencer, vai ser sua primeira sequência, depois de muito tempo, uma sequência de 2 vitórias, né, no UFC. E o que seria depois dessa vitória? Um oponente ranqueado? O que você planeja depois?
Com certeza, a minha briga é para entrar no ranking, né, me manter no ranking e brigar com os grandes da categoria. Então, após essa luta, eu vou vencer o Ben Rothwell sábado, e após essa luta eu quero um top 15 ali para estar entrando no ranking, para estar brigando com eles.
Yes, my goal is to fight all the best guys in the division. I know I'm gonna win Saturday, and after that I want to fight a guy on the top rank. On the ring. Pezão. Somebody else? Não. Fazer em português aqui.
Ok.
Beleza. Pezão, vamos lá. Para essa luta em específico, o que mudou no seu treinamento? A gente sabe que você já luta no UFC faz algum tempo, né? Até mencionou aqui com o John antes, mas o que você pretende ou já fez de mudança para engatar uma sequência de vitórias?
Na verdade, é aquilo, né? Eu tive boas lutas, grandes lutas no UFC. Eu acho que eu me encontrei nessa categoria, nessa divisão dos pesos pesados. E, eu estou fazendo um trabalho, eu já venho, né? Desde que eu subi para a categoria dos pesos pesados, eu estou fazendo um trabalho bom, trabalhando muito wrestling, muito jiu-jitsu, né? E eu estou pronto para embalar uma sequência de vitórias aí, né? Quando eu entrei no UFC, eu tive 2 vitórias seguidas, né? E depois eu acabei alternando, tive alguns problemas com lesão também, mas agora eu me sinto no melhor momento da minha carreira, minha musculatura, minha força, meu condicionamento físico, estou muito bem.
Para esse momento que você está na sua carreira, você uma vitória em maio, o Ben era o tipo de atleta que você gostaria de enfrentar, o ideal para esse momento?
Não, com certeza, ele é um cara que tem um nome bom na categoria, já lutou com muita gente também, né? Ele deve ter mais ou menos umas 20 lutas aí na categoria, então, cara, eu estou felizão com essa luta, né? Não poderia ser uma luta melhor para eu retornar.
Bom, não é segredo para nenhum fã brasileiro que nos últimos meses a gente viu o Charles do Bronx e o Glover Teixeira se tornarem campeões com histórias e trajetórias curiosas, aquela coisa de insistir, né? Demorar muitos anos. Você é um cara que está há muitos anos, tem 36 anos. Ver atletas que você conhece e até se dá muito bem com eles chegarem nessa posição, dá uma motivada, assim, tipo, é só não desistir que é possível chegar lá?
Com certeza, o Charles, tanto o Glover, a Amanda também é motivação pra gente, né? A Amanda, eu lembro que a gente fez, quando eu lutei no Strike Force em 2011, ela lutou também com a Alexas Davis, se eu não me engano, e eu falei, caramba, essa baiana é muito boa, né, velho? E hoje, tipo, a gente tá treinando junto, eu tá vendo a história dela, ela, tipo, com 2 cinturões na categoria, em 2 categorias diferentes, entendeu? O próprio Glover também, que é 40 anos, é um cara tipo duríssimo, 42 anos, um cara duríssimo, né, meu? Que eu tive chance de treinar também, treinou com a gente na American Top Team, o próprio Chaves do Bronx também. É motivador, entendeu? Ver o que esses caras conseguiram fazer, e com certeza eu estou pronto para fazer isso também.
Maravilha. Para terminar, você puder olhar para a câmera da G-Fight aqui e mandar aquele recado para os fãs do Brasil e, se possível, até arriscar um palpite para essa luta no sábado agora.
Bom, um abraço para toda a galera do Brasil aí. Sabadão a gente vai com força total para essa luta. Resultado, com certeza vai ser a vitória, que eu vou entregar tudo para conseguir a vitória ali. Vamos ver se vai vir com nocaute, com a finalização, ou vai ser 3 rounds de guerra aí. Um abraço.
Well, welcome back. I mean, it's been, I guess, like 3 years at this point. I mean, I gotta wonder what the feeling is like. Does it even feel, real at this point?
It's incredible. It's surreal. I'm so excited to be here. I've been waiting literally 3 years to come back here, and I can't even tell you in words how amazing it feels. I'm so excited.
So, I mean, obviously, you've dealt with a myriad of health problems during this time. I mean, was there ever a point where you were like, this is just not going to happen, it's not worth it, I can't get through all this?
There were a couple times I questioned whether or not I was going to be able to come back, and I'm passionate about this sport. I was like, I have to make it happen. Like, no matter what I have to do, I'm just going to listen to my doctors and do everything they say, buy the book, and it worked. Like, I'm so determined to be back here, and there was some times I did question whether or not I was going to be able to do it, but I had to push through because this is my passion, this is what I'm meant to do, and I know that deep in my heart that this is what I was meant to do.
Was there ever anybody that said, like, hey, maybe it'd be better if you didn't, or like, we don't think you're going to be able to do this?
No. All my friends and my family and my support group, they were like, you can do this, you can do anything you set your mind to. I'm like a very determined person, so they all believed in me and they pushed me to keep going even when there were some times I wanted to give up just because it got so tough at times.
So what got you to finally pull the trigger to say, I'm healthy enough, I can do this, it's time to book a fight again?
I started feeling a lot better this year, and then I came out to the PI back in July, and I was working with them, and they ran a bunch of tests on me, and then we kind of talked about it, and they're like, I think we're comfortable with you fighting at 145 again, and as soon as they said that, it didn't take me long. I texted my manager, I was like, hey, I'm ready to come back, and I'm so excited to be here now.
That's awesome. So during this 3-year period, like, how much training have you been able to do? Like, were you still able to continue training on a daily basis, or did you even have to take time off from that?
I had to take a total of about like 6 months off completely from training just to give my body some time to recover, and then I've been training consistently throughout that. As soon as the doctor cleared me, like at one point I was only cleared to do 20 minutes of exercise a day, but I did it every single day. I was like, okay, that's what I can do, that's what I'm going to do. So I just listened to my doctor, and based on how I felt and my lab results and all that, so I just basically listened to the doctor, and I was able to continue training for the most part throughout the 3 years.
Nice. So the matchup you come back to, I'm curious. I mean, I guess there's not a whole lot of featherweights to pick from, but I mean, a recent title challenger in your return after 3 years away. It seems like not exactly a warm-up fight to jump back in there, right? So what did you think when that's the matchup you got?
It didn't take me long to accept it. I mean, she's really tough. Like, I was actually honored that they were ready to throw me back in with one of the toughest fighters out there. And, I mean, she went the distance with Cyborg and Nunez, and what better opponent to test my skills against, and I am so ready for this.
I like it. So here's the interesting part, right, is like you could conceivably be a completely different fighter after 3 years away, right? I mean, so, yes. I mean, do you consider yourself, like, have you changed? Are you the same fighter we saw before? What's the difference?
I'm a completely different fighter. I've been working a lot with the sports psychologist, so I have a different mentality even. I switched camps, I switched coaches. I've completely reinvented myself as a fighter, and I'm actually training smarter, not as hard as I was to compensate for those health issues. So I'm actually a completely different fighter, and I'm so excited to show off my new skills.
I guess you won't know till Saturday, but do you think there'll be, like, nerves? I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, it feels like you're, like, debuting.
I mean, of course, there's always nerves. I'm not going to lie. Everyone gets a little nervous before they fight, and I expect there to be some nerves, especially after taking this long of a break. But as soon as I get back in there, it's just like riding a bike, so I'm sure that it'll all come back to me, and I'll feel what I need to do when I get in there. So.
And as far as the result goes, I mean, like, I don't want to say does the result matter. Like, everybody wants to win a fight, right? But, I mean, isn't there some kind of, like, victory just in getting back in there? Like, is it more about just maybe just having fun or just being able to compete again?
I mean, I definitely plan on winning, right? I'm very competitive, so I want to win, but I've been incredibly, like, happy, and I consider it a victory just to be able to take a fight again. And this week, just getting back here, and it's a victory in itself. So yes, I've been very appreciative, and I think I appreciate it actually more than any other fighter just because it's been so long since I've been able to do this.
Nice. And what's the goal moving forward, I guess? I mean, do you, like, is this kind of a test the waters and see how I feel, or is it like, let's make up for lost time and fight every week now? Or, I mean, what's the plan going forward?
I guess I'm going to try to feel how things go after this fight, how my body handles the weight cut, and how I can recover from it based on my health issues, and we'll just go from there. I'm just taking it one fight at a time right now.
Nice. And last thing for me, I guess, how do you see this fight playing out? I mean, I'm sure you've been thinking about it and envisioning it through your head. So, I mean, do you go in there? Is this somebody that you can dominate? Do you feel like you're going to have to grind something out over 15 minutes? What do you see?
Well, she's really, really tough. Like I said, she's been the distance with some of the toughest females on the planet. So I definitely expect it to be a grind and a tough 3-round fight. I'm not planning on finishing it, but, you know, I want to. So if I can get the finish, I'm going to take it. But I'm planning on it being a 3-round war.
Leah, for those watching that don't know, what can you elaborate on what the health issues were?
Yeah, so for several years throughout my career, I was overtraining and undereating and having some severe weight cuts, and it kind of finally caught up to me. I have hypothyroidism now, and my hormones were all messed up from the overtraining and undereating, so I've been kind of dealing with rebuilding my body, even down to the cellular level. My mitochondria were all messed up from the overtraining and undereating.
When was it that you could start training full time again? You mentioned that, you know, you coming back to the training center here, and
I'd say probably around March is when I got back to full training again, back to like fight camp level training, and I was feeling so much better. So that's why I decided to come out here in July and just see where I was at. And I didn't want to push anything or rush anything to make it go too fast, just because my health issues were so severe that I didn't want to rush anything. And so I took my time coming back.
what was that feeling like when you finally were able to full bore go ahead?
Incredibly exciting. I felt like myself again. This is my passion, and so it didn't even feel like myself when I couldn't train full time. Like, this is what I was meant to do. So when I finally got back to full training again, I felt like myself again, and that's such an incredible feeling.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good?
Thank you. So you talk about being back, yeah. I mean, 2 years at this point, man. How does it feel to be on a fight week again?
Well, it's an amazing feeling to be finally here. After 2 years of trying to get back here, finally we're here and we're ready for Saturday. Just a matter of time, a couple of days for the fight to happen, and I'm ready.
That's awesome. What was your mindset like during these 2 years, right? Because it just seems like, man, every time you start getting some momentum, something happens and it stopped. You know what I mean? Was it difficult to stay positive, to stay focused, like during this time away?
Yeah, of course. I guess it was difficult for a lot of reasons, like personal reasons, like COVID and like family passing away, friends recently passing away, and injuries, mine and Max injuries. So like kind of everything added to these couple of years of being out of competition. But I've been really trying to get back in here, bro. I was ready to fight in March. I've been getting prepared. When my suspension got over, March 7th, I was ready. And they told me that I was going to fight Max right after in June. And then couldn't happen. Then was July. He got injured. And then we moved it all the way here. That's almost a year of just waiting. And, but that's the past. Now we're here and we're looking forward for Saturday and doing our best. And we're ready.
That's awesome. I did want to ask you about the suspension. Like, how does that happen? I mean, was it just carelessness, or like was it like a middle finger to USADA that I don't have to tell you where I am? What was it?
No. That I actually I have my friends and family. Some of my friends and family are here. My manager is right here, so he will easily tell you. Like my phone is like no battery all the time. I don't really check social media. If you ever see it, I'm really bad with that. And they've been helping me out, but I'm just bad on answering. So every time that I was trying to move from, I call myself a nomad. I like to move from one place to another, and sometimes I just forgot to do it, and I wasn't in the location where when I told you that I was going to be. In 1 year, I fell 3 times, and that got me to the suspension, only 6 months suspension. But it's a learning experience, and now I have people that is taking care specifically of that. So
yeah, I was gonna ask, was it kind of a wake up call? Like we got to do things a little bit different, maybe raise the professionalism, maybe, I guess.
Yes, exactly. That's what happened.
Very nice. Well, now we're back. We put that in the past. Like you said, you were supposed to fight earlier this year. When it was delayed, was it important for you to keep this fight, or were you like, hey, just give me anybody. I just want to fight.
No, I honestly wanted to fight Max. Whenever I got the call from Sean and then he say, hey, what do you think about Max? I was like, perfect, let's do it. I like the opportunity. I like big opportunities like this. And whenever he got injured, he was like sad, but I understood at the same time because I have got injured before, and I was like, okay, let's wait for him and see when is he gonna be back. They told me it could be 6 months to a year. I was like, if it's a year, I don't know if I'm gonna wait for him, but if it's 6 months, I think we can do it. So it was like 6 months, and now this is happening.
Very nice. I mean, like every fight's a big fight, right? I mean, main event, you're used to things like this, but a lot of people say he's the greatest featherweight of all time. So does this feel like an even special fight? I mean, it's, a bigger moment in your career?
Yeah, I like it. It's like that's why we're here, like to prove ourselves against the best fighters in history in the world. Why is that? Well, if you really want to prove yourself, not to prove nobody else, to prove yourself. Like I want to prove myself against Max Holloway because I know the caliber of a fighter that he is, and I feel like whenever I got pressure on myself, like I was telling in an interview earlier, like I have jumped out of an airplane 3 times, and everybody says like right when you're scared to jump, that's when you jump, and that's what I did with this fight. I was a little scared to jump, but at the same time I was excited. When I got that feeling inside me, that like emotion in my stomach, I was like, okay, this is gonna be a good fight. Take it, let's go, let's do it, and just train hard, and everything else will be fine.
It's awesome. Do you think about what this does for you with a win? Because like I said, it's been 2 years, so I feel like you lost some momentum, but you beat Max Holloway. There's not many people up above him, right? So I mean, do you think about where this puts you? And I mean, do you start talking about titles and stuff if you win this fight?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that the title shot is gonna be in front of me, but first I gotta win against Max. anything can happen from there. And I'm not focusing on that. Right now, my main focus is Max Holloway, Saturday 13th at 3 p.m. right next door.
I like it. Last thing for me, what kind of fight do you think we see here? Because the way your two styles match up on paper, man, it looks like it could be an absolutely crazy fight. I mean, you expecting something wild and you know, an absolute battle back and forth, or are you picturing domination? How does this thing go?
I know Max is a fighter that can keep up a good rhythm of fighting, but I think he's gonna keep on breaking that rhythm. I'm not letting him just get into his rhythm. I'm gonna break that before.
Yeah. Would you agree that this fight is something to do? It's almost like a boxer versus a kicker, right? He loves his punches, he loves his boxing, and you're known for your flashy kicks. Do you see it like that style, like punches versus kicks?
Yeah, I see it's like a stylistic matchup, boxing against Taekwondo, but this is MMA. He won't box actually like a boxer do, you know, because he will have to be aware of all of other scenarios, and I won't be only kicking. So yeah, I think it's kind of, yeah, you have the idea, but it's not like that. I think this is just another sport, super different than whatever anybody else would think. And if you are not ready for it, then you're gonna pay the consequences. So.
Were you kind of surprised when they brought his name to you to give you this opportunity? Obviously, he's such a big name. Were you surprised, or do you think that you've earned these sort of fights?
No, I've been waiting for this like forever. Like I've been trying to get big names. You know, that's what I've been fighting all my career. Like fighting people that is in front of me on the rankings, people that's gonna put me in a better position, no guys that are behind me. It's no clue that anybody in this division or anybody in any other division in the UFC is gonna be tough. That's no clue about it. It's just a matter of who's gonna be smarter, taking the right decisions. That's what I'm trying to do. Take the right decisions. I have a really good team with me. Then I think we take it the right decisions, and we're here to move forward.
Max is obviously notoriously hard to finish in the cage. So do you have to plan ahead and think, well, I'm probably going to the distance, or do you have to think, no, I'm going to be the first guy to finish him?
No, I gotta finish him. I think I gotta go there and finish the fight. That's what I'm thinking right now. I don't see the fight going. I see the fight probably going long, but not to the end. I'm gonna finish it before.
Cool, thank you.
Anything else? Okay.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Good to see you guys.
Julio, obviously a big win for you back in July. I guess I wanted to ask just kind of how important that was, after the time away, after a couple of close losses, to go in there and get a finish. How big was that for you?
It was that victory actually meant a lot because I was on the shelf for like a year and a half after a double elbow surgery. And then after, having like 2 split decision losses at 45, during that time I made the change to go to 35, and I think, it created a couple, made a couple waves here and there. And people knew it was like, oh, this guy's coming 35. This guy means business. So that was a huge victory for me.
Yeah. To talk about those split decision losses, I mean, how tough is that to digest, I guess? You know what I mean? Do you take lessons out of it, or is it just like, damn these judges? I mean, how does it go?
It's a bit of both, I look at the loss to Shayman Moraes. I'll tell you what, that was one of my favorite fights. I learned a lot from that fucking fight. But, sorry if I cursed. But it was the fact that, look, you can clearly see the size difference in those fights. You can clearly see that I'm always the smaller guy in all these fights. But, look, I held my own at 45. That dude dropped me. He could not put me away, and I got back up. I kept fighting. And first round, it was a close one. Second round, he took. Third round, I took. But I think the fact that it was since I was the one bleeding the most, they were like, yeah, let's lean forward towards that guy. So it was, it's a toss up. But then, I just take a look at myself and I'm like, you know what? I should have done more. Then when the other split decision loss, it's a styles fight. And like I said, they could have viewed it any way. Even though, when I fought Hakeem, he was upset about that he got the win. He's like, I didn't win that fight. But I was like, man, I got to get back and I got to do better. So, I reflect from those fights because they were close, and they're close for a reason, and they're close because I could have done more. Yeah, it's a great way to look at it. All right, so bantamweight now. How different is the lifestyle? Is this something that you have to focus on every day? Because this is a pretty quick turnaround for you. Yeah, man. Look, after being off for for a year and a half, I was like, look, I'm here to come back, and I'm going to come back, and I want to be able to fight as much as possible. So at least I got 2 fights in this year, and then possibly next year try to get at least 3 more fights in. But my focus is on Song right now, who's a tough opponent in front of me, and I'm just looking to now really break into these rankings. And look, I'm all in on this. I'm not here to mess around. I'm here to make up for lost time. Yeah. Is it? Is it like a lifestyle change for you to get to 35? You have to focus on diet every day, or what's it been like for you? Yeah, I had to. I make sure I always monitor my weight. I have Eric Pena, who works with a lot of the fighters, and he does my nutrition for me. So he always makes it easier for me to cut down to 35. He's making it real simple. So it's not like a struggle where you're like, God damn, I'm dying to have some food. It's like, no. It's like I'm cutting my weight healthy. I feel great. I feel energized. I feel ready to go. I don't feel depleted at all. And it was just making some adjustments. So the time off for me was actually really good because it made me focus on little things, little details that I could have missed during, the start of my UFC career. And now we adjusted those details, and now we're on it. So definitely a division for you then. Yep, you can clearly tell. We'll talk about the matchup, right? They give you Song Yadong. Obviously he's been kind of a highly respected guy, a prospect. So what did you think when this was the matchup they gave you? I'll tell you what, I got excited because I thought after my fight with Ewell, it went the way that I wanted to. And I think people realized that, one, I have power in my hands. I can stand up. People seen that I can go down to the ground. And, I thought I was going to get another, another opponent in the lower ranks. And they gave me somebody who was a top rank. So I think now they're watching me. The fact that they put me up against him not only shows that, it shows that I'm moving up as well. And that now you got two tough competitors right there, ready to go at it. Yeah. So I'm excited about this matchup. Had you been watching him? Obviously it wasn't your division, and maybe you weren't ready, you weren't thinking of that part of the rankings. Had you been watching him, and what do you think of him? Yeah, look, one, he's young. He's 23 years old? So he's young, explosive, he's athletic. He's got a lot of hype behind him. And for someone like him, he's still coming up. He's still looking to improve. For me, I'm 32 years old, but guess what? I'm in my prime. So you can't sleep on me because now I got 10 extra years of experience. I've been doing this now for, 20 years of just being in the martial arts, and I continue to train every single day. That's what I bask myself in. That's what I'm living and breathing every day. There's nothing else. And that's all that I do. So, yeah, he's a tough opponent, but you know what? So am I.
Yeah, you win here. I mean, you got to be, even though you're new to the division, right? You got to be talking about rankings. So what's the process here? You kind of feel like, it sounds like you want to fight like as much as possible and make up for some lost time, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Look, a year and a half layoff that, of course, I had to get surgery on my elbows and little things here and there. But then I was like, this is our time. It's like, let's make a run. Like, I just want to fight. I just want to fight, and that's what I got these 2 fights in. Next year, looking to fight at least 3 more times, 3 or 4 times, right? Depending how the fight's going. I'm not, no major injuries, but I just want to stay busy.
Very nice. Last thing for me, I guess, how do you see this one playing out? Because on paper, it seems like it might be a pretty exciting little back and forth scrap, but I'm sure you want to go in and dominate, not be in a battle. But how do you think this one goes? Dude,
all I know is this is going to be a barn burner. It's like people, this is going to be it's going to be an intense fight because look, we got two strikers. We're gonna go at it, right? And it's about, but at the end of the day, I'm looking to come out with my hand-raising victory. Whether it goes decision, knockout, submission, does not matter. Like, I'm looking to leave there victorious, and I'm looking to move into the rankings and make my climb up the ladder.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Ben, what's the last 6 months or so been like for you? Has it just been pure dad life, or focusing on training? What's it been like?
It's both. Don't have a choice, this is what I do. And with him being here, he's my motivation. It's pretty awesome to get to be a, dad of the future, my baby boy, and it's been a pretty cool ride.
Yeah. So you brought the family with you?
No.
No.
No, mom and Odin are home. That's just how it is here right now. It's
not even a choice, right?
Yeah, and there's no. I don't think they could even watch the fight live, and the world is still in a little bit of turmoil with travel and all that. So it's just better to keep them home and safe.
Has that made fight week difficult, or is it nice to kind of get away and maybe have singular focus? What's this week been like for you so far?
The UFC gave us a pad where we get to kind of take care of ourselves with the food, and we've got like a small kitchen, and that really helps out a lot. And they've lightened up a little bit. You can leave your hotel room, but I don't know. I just stay focused and just kind of do my thing, and it's fine. These few days here to the fight are pretty boring.
Sometimes that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, because when I was younger, it wasn't that way. Like when I fought in Hawaii, and so before the UFC, I would go out and like sightsee, almost treat it like a vacation, and it takes away your focus.
Now it's more like a business trip.
It's a business trip now. I've learned that over the years the hard way.
Do you enjoy it though? Is it fun? I mean, like you said, this is what I do, but is it fun or not?
I had my first fight at 17 years old in 1999, and it's just funny telling the story again in some of the other interviews. My first 3 nights of fighting, I fought 6 times. I fought 3 tournaments, and I won them all, and it kind of kicked off this career. And even now, I look at myself at 40 years old. I'm in better shape right now, I think, just looking at a photo and just how I'm performing than I was when I was 30. Now, there's good and bad of that. It's like, why didn't I do these things when I was 30? Because I would have been way farther ahead. But at least I learned, and my body's staying together where I have the ability to even get this way. And the passion is always there. I mean, I think in my blood, I'm a fighter. It's just the way it is. I'm one of the real ones. And I think, if I was born in a different time, I was, one of the gladiators in the Coliseum killing people. And people always talk about, they always say I look like a Viking. Maybe I was.
So where do you feel like you're at in your career? I mean, like you said, you're in better shape now than you were at 30. I mean, have you started to put an expiration date on things, and when, or is it just keep doing it until your body lets you?
I don't think people can help when they ask, because at that age it is. It's, there's some guys that are already retired younger than me, and then there's guys at 42 years old just do the most amazing things. It's MMA. You just don't know. Honestly, it's in God's hands. My drive and fire are very much there, because there's a lot that I want to still do and prove. Certainly prove that, again, remind everybody that I am one of the best heavyweights on the planet. But I have to win all my fights from here on till I just, when the time is done. I don't know how long that is. I'm not Andre Arlovsky. I'm not totally Benjamin Button, but I do get told that I'm looking good for 40. So, I mean, at least that's something. I've learned a lot. I do have a really, really great setup with my coaches and my training partner. I have one of the best training partners I ever had in my whole career. It's like, God, where was he 10 years ago too? Again, everything happens for a reason. It's just the way it is, and I'm just trying to make the most of it. And that's just it. Like I said, I have the drive, and we're just going to ride it for as long as we can. And then when it's over, I'll use my mind and make money that way, I guess.
I like it. Do you feel disrespected sometimes, that maybe you don't get the people don't recognize you as one of the top heavyweights, the people don't recognize you as a pioneer that's been there from the beginning?
It was a bad set of circumstances that went down. Basically in 2016 to 2019 it was one of the worst times of my life. I had a bad set of things that went down, and it was like shooting yourself in the foot. I went from being ranked 4th in the world to now I'm not in the rankings anymore. And when I came back, I had a couple losses that were really questionable, and I needed to get finishes, and It's just everything just was a setback. It was a bunch of setbacks, and I'm here now though, right? I'm here now. I just come off of a finish. I'm getting, I'm winning with some finishes again, with knockouts, another submission, and that's what I really care to do. I go out and finish my fight in the most exciting way possible.
Yeah. Marcus Rogerio de Lima, when they gave you that name, were you familiar with him? I mean, do you keep tabs on everybody in the division?
Yeah, I'm familiar. I mean, he's been around, so he's definitely somebody we've crossed paths. I've met him before, and he was here with Lynn when I was supposed to fight in May. They were on the same fight card, and so it's just funny. Here we are now. We're fighting each other.
Yeah. What do you think about him? I mean, at this point, you've seen everything in your career. I mean, is there anything that he does particularly like, oh, that's pretty impressive, or that's something I haven't seen?
I mean, you watch him, it's pretty obvious he throws hard low kicks. He likes to kick, and he's really been working his wrestling, it seems like he's trying to, because he prominently was a kickboxer. Now he's won some of his fights with just kind of grounding on guys, laying on guys, doing takedowns that way. So, I think he comes from, one of the best camps in the world, American Top Team, so that's a big thing. He's got that, and he's known to be taken lightly, and, I didn't. I trained extremely hard for this, and I'm ready to perform.
You talked about finishes. I mean, and I think you're right. People get rewarded for finishes. So do you have to go in there like hunting the finish, or is it just a matter of if you execute, the finish will present itself?
I mean, you just said it. The way I fight, my fighting style, I can't help but be the way I am, and it causes chaos, and it causes people to make mistakes, and when they do, I capitalize. And that's how I do it, and the fans seem to like it, so I'll keep doing it.
I dig it. Last thing for me, talk about the plan at this point. Like you said, I mean, you got the family at home. You're in better shape than you've ever been. You're feeling good. So a victory here. What's the next move? Are you trying to fight more frequently next year? Are you trying to fight ranked opponents? Are there names you want? What's the plan?
That question goes on in my head all the time, and it always resorts. All my wisdom has taught me this: do this fight, win this fight, and then all those questions will get answered. So that's what we got to focus on right now. He's a challenge. He's not to be taken lightly, and my mind is set to take care of him on Saturday.
Ben, thanks for joining us. I always feel like I got to get the update on the gym. How's Rothwell MMA doing, and is things back open a lot better up there in Wisconsin right now?
Oh, yeah. We had a tremendous summer. It was amazing because summertime for martial art gyms, typically it's like a downtime, and our gym was the busiest it's probably been since I've ever opened. It was crazy. And then things kind of slowed down a little bit. I mean, it's still good. It's way better than it was last year. I don't know if just like school starting and stuff like that. And in Wisconsin, the weather is kind of all over the place, and our winters are usually typically pretty brutal. And we had just a really amazing fall. All September and October, it was beautiful weather, and I think people are really enjoying it. So there's that going on. And even with all that going on, still the gym is kicking and doing its thing, and I'm always proud of it.
Well, I was going to say, I think a lot of fighters, they always think about opening up something after. You're doing it while you're still in the prime of your career. Is it a nice distraction to have the focus on that, or is it there parts where you're like, man, I wish I didn't have to worry about the business. I wish I could just only think about fighting.
If I didn't have the amazing team and I had to do a lot of stuff on my own, yeah, it would be insane. It wouldn't even work. I would probably have to close it. But my wife, she's like the front of the house manager, and over the 10 years I've owned it, I've created this group of coaches that have absolutely done an outstanding job. I leave for a week right now, and they just run the whole gym. And honestly, they've been running it for the last few weeks by themselves, and they do an awesome job and still get people signed up when I'm gone. And it's kind of funny. It's not like it's got my name on it, but people come there for the martial arts. It's not, Ben Rothwell. Like, they don't care about me. So I'm okay with that.
And then kind of a silly question. When you talk about Wisconsin, you talk about the weather. I have family up there, so I love that area. When it comes to state fairs, where does Wisconsin State Fair, where does the Kenosha County Fair rank in the fairs, and what is your go-to fair food?
I haven't gone to the Kenosha County Fair in probably over a decade. Maybe longer. When I was a kid, I used to go, and it's about as buck country as you can imagine, right up there with Milwaukee State Fair, and they're famous for their cream puffs and making people fat, and That's pretty much it. I think people just go to eat food and look at animals, but it's been a while.
You don't have a favorite fair food when you did go, or
I think I said it's like known for the
cream
cream
puffs?
puffs. Even though some people are like, they don't taste like anything. I'm like, I don't know.
I dig it. Thanks, Ben.
Hey, Ben, you mentioned that you're one of the real fighters. Could you elaborate on that?
I don't mean a real fighter, like how to quite describe what I mean. I just mean I come from a time where I had to fight multiple times as an amateur and a pro, in one night. And I don't know if any of these fighters today know what it would be like to have to fight 3 times in one night. A lot of the tournaments is you fight and then 3 months later you fight again, but I was fighting the same night and it was ridiculous. In fact, I fought in my pro record, I have a loss against me because I fought Friday night and then I had to fight 3 times on Saturday night and I lost, and it was only two 5-minute rounds, and the guy beat me at the decision with 2 5-minute rounds, and I nailed him with a knee in the last 10 seconds, which he even told me after the fight. He's like, I was completely done. So I'm like, I would have won the 3rd round. He's like, oh, yeah, dude, I'm done. His head was like a spider web. So, yeah, that's some of the things I've went through in my career, and that loss is on my record. And it's like, so I just don't even care about a lot of stuff. But those are just times that I look back, it's like, man, I get done with a fight now, and I'm like, do you imagine having to fight again in 20, 30 minutes? Like, nope. So it's kind of cool, I guess, to look back at my experience, some of the things I went through, and why I do this. I guess it's a personal thing. I don't want to judge. I'm not judging people. It's just things they say. They say things. Oh, I'm fighting for fame. I'm fighting for money. And I fight to smash somebody. I have, this guy agreed to fight me, so it's all respect. We're both human beings, but he thinks he's better than me, and he's trying to hurt me. And I take a certain type of pleasure in inflicting it back onto him. It's just something about it. It's deep and bedded into my roots, I guess. I don't know, like you said, they think a long time ago I was a Viking, so burying a battle axe into somebody's forehead.
So you miss kind of those tough guy days of the earlier UFCs.
It's all good. The sport has evolved to what it needs to be now. It's becoming a sport, and having all the regulations, and this is what we needed to get to get the spotlight, to get to the notoriety, and to get people watching like it is now. I don't think back in my day it was considered more of a freak show, so that wasn't good. That wasn't going to grow the sport like it is. But for the people that competed in it, like myself, I do hold a special type of respect for that. Like, yeah, I went through that stuff. Like, I did it for like nothing. Like, I wasn't getting paid anything, and I was fighting two times a night, so I think it says something about me. Like, I really enjoy this.
You've been in the sport for so long. Who are some of your inspirations, whether it was fighters or not?
Oh, Glover Teixeira right now. I could have told you that 2 years ago, just watching him, and now it's just like over the top. Like, what an amazing achievement, and to do so good at it. So he's definitely somebody that's up there. A lot of the champions, man. Just a lot of inspiration from all these guys, Habib and GSP, and just looking back on some of the things these guys have done in the sport and how awesome they are. So.
Well, we'll let you go sharpen your battle axe, and we can't wait till Saturday night.
I'll take it to the grindstone. Thanks.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, guys.
UFC Community Award, so we just surprised them, kind of caught them off guard on Fight Week there. So we just want to start by saying congratulations to you, Max, and thanks for all the amazing work you've done.
Thank you again.
Again, no, it's awesome. Man. So surprise!
Well, Max, obviously we got a fight to talk about, but we got to start there, right? I mean, it's a pretty high honor to receive, right? What's the feeling like?
I mean, I'm all out of it, to be honest. You know, to hear that, and I mean, I told them not to do it. Like, they should have not surprised me Fight Week. It's kind of messed up. I got so many emotions already, and they dropped this bomb on me, you know. But at the end of the day, what I was telling them, you know, it's crazy because we just was talking about a community because they end up. Toyo Tires, they say, is donating 25 G's, right, to the charity of my choice. And I was just talking to my agent before this about working with, we just got something new. We're working with the Boys and Girls Club, specifically in where I born and raised in Waianae, Hawaii, you know. So, and then I'm going to give them the whole thing. There's this program called What's Next, and it helps people to find out what they want to do next, if it's college or military or whatever it may be, you know what I mean, internships, whatever it is, that's what it goes to. So that's where it's going. And it's you know, I know I saw Dustin want it like 2 months ago, you know, and they told me I want it for next year, so it's for this year, so it's just pretty sick, man, you know. And like I told them, it's not a trophy to hold above my head, you know. I'm not celebrating. You don't celebrate this. It's a responsibility to go on my shoulder to let me know, and it's a reminder to be like, you better keep pushing, you know. I'm more than an athlete, you know. This is bigger than me. There's people who need help, and we're here for it, you know. We always did work with Hawaii Food Bank with unemployment. We still doing stuff with Hawaii Food Bank, and we got something sick coming up with them. So we're just trying to do our bit, you know. A wise person once said to me, you know, as you want to leave this world better than when you came into it. So at the end of the day, this is huge. This helps us out a lot. I know a bunch of kids in Waianae and Boys and Girls Club, when they hear about that, they're going to be pretty stoked. So I'm excited.
That's awesome. What does it mean for you to be like so connected to your community, man? I mean, I think like you represent your community, where that's not always the case with people and with athletes. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. It means a lot to me, man. You know, I got a car, like a bright color car, so it means a lot when I'm driving up the road and you see all the kids, same kids. It's shocking, like, Max, you know. So it's amazing, you know. I just wanted to always show everybody. You know, you call me biased all you want, but we have some of the most talented people in the world to play sports, or even smartest people in the world. They just don't know it, you know, and they don't know that what is beyond Hawaii, you know. Like, they just see somebody that they look up to, their uncles or aunties, whatever it may be, and they saw how far they went. They never left Hawaii, you know. And then now you get guys that be like, oh my gosh, look, like I always tell them, if I can do it, why not you guys? Why not you guys? You guys not that far off. I told you guys multiple times, I'm not the best fighter coming out of Waianae, Hawaii. I'm not the most athletic, the best athlete coming out of Hawaii, you know. It's just, I was just at the right time, the right place, and I worked my butt off for it. So, you know, just giving people hope. That's what life's all about.
That's awesome, man. Well, congratulations on the award. Obviously a big fight, right? Another main event. I mean, nothing new to you. What's Fight Week like for you at this point in your career? I mean, are there still nerves, excitement, responsibility? What's it like for you?
I mean, yeah, for sure, you know, nerves and everything. I mean, we're coming on that hard part, you know, Thursday tomorrow with the weight cut, and then the fun part is always Saturday, you know. The fun part is Saturday in the afternoon. We get to buggy a little bit earlier in the afternoon than late at night than early in the morning, I would say. So life's good on that part, but it's just another one, you know. It's just another fight, man. We've been here so many times, you know. But I'll be lying to you, you know. I mean, any fighter would be lying to you if they tell you don't get nervous, you know. Of course you can get nervous. You're about to go out there, another man or woman, whoever you're fighting, whatever you are, it's gonna punch you in the face. So it's time to get ready for it, you know.
What's the build up to this fight been like for you? Like, obviously you had to withdraw early in the year when it was scheduled. Was that a tough decision for you? I mean, we don't think about you pulling out of fights. Was that a tough one for you, or was it like there was no way I could fight?
Bro, it was there was no way. Like, my coaches they all came together. We got a PT guy. I got one of the best PT guy. I got doctors at that take care of me in Hawaii, and they was all like looking at me like telling me like, bro, you're not doing it. I was telling them, what is it, you know? And they was like, yeah, not this time, Max, you know? So it's heartbreaking, you know, because you guys all know me. I like fighting 3 times a year, try to squeeze in a 4th, and it's only the second one of this year. So, you know, slow and steady win the race, I guess, sometimes, you know, and well, here we are, so I'm excited.
Was it important for you to keep the matchup together, or did it really matter to you if it was the same name or not?
I didn't matter, you know, I didn't care, you know. Like I said, I mean, I swear, I think you guys might all saw it. There's a lot of guys, man, a lot of guys at the elevator, you know, they're trying to go straight to the top, you know what I mean? Because since UFC don't have a structure, a tournament structure, there's a lot of guys at the elevator, you know, and the line is super long, you know what I mean? And I ain't about the elevator life. You can find me at the stairs. I'll be running up and down that bad boy wherever we gotta go, you know, and that's one thing. The UFC did tell us that we didn't have to take it, but I sat down with my coaches. We all looked at each other. We all agreed we're not elevated divas, you know. We're going to get out there. We're going to go do it. And we're going to get the damn thing done, you know. If you believe you're the best fighter in the world, that's what you should be doing. You'll end up fighting everybody, anyone, anytime if you believe, you know. So it's saying is simple, you know. Everyone, every time, everywhere.
I like it. Prepping for Yair, I mean, obviously he's got a very unique style. I mean, what do you think about him as an opponent? Does he present any difficulties that, you know, you haven't seen with other opponents?
I mean, the closest I fought to Yair is Pettis, you know, and I think Yair's do a little bit more. He's a little bit more spinny and stuff, a little bit more jumpy and super explosive. You gotta respect that. He does have knockouts where it's like it doesn't look too good and he gets them, you know. So at the end of the day, I got nothing but respect for Yair, you know, but come Saturday in the afternoon, he's the one standing against me, you know, and I had to do 3 camps for this guy. Because I was doing 1 camp, I got hurt, and after the injury, all my coaches was nervous. They was like, you better do a mini camp to see if it can handle, if the injury could handle the stress. And then I actually had, and it did, and then we actually went into a real camp, so somebody's going to have to pay for that, you know, and Saturday night, I got the perfect victim, I guess.
I like that. Are you looking at this as a #1 contender fight? I mean, do you want to think about that, or is it just a headache to think about where you are and if it's enough and are you back and all that?
I mean, at the end of the day, I got 5 title wins, you know what I mean? My 6th title win, would I won against Alex? For sure, you know, but UFC discussed with us a bunch of stuff, you know what I mean? I got a win over the 155 champ right now. I'm on the very short list for Conor McGregor always. And, you know, I'm the best boxer in the UFC. So, you know, in the times like these, with these wild fights being made, you know, let you guys use your guys' imagination. You know, that's all I'm going to say about it.
I like it. Options on the table. So talk to me. How does this fight go? I mean, are you looking to go in there? Do you need to go in there and do something definitive, like get a dominating finish? Or do you think it's going to be a back and forth, you know, kind of a fun battle type fight? What type of fight is this?
This is the type of fight that I tell you guys all the time, you know. If you got colleagues, friends, families, or whoever it may be, trying to get into MMA, trying to get them to watch UFC, you make them tune in on Saturday. We're going to get new fans, and you're welcome in advance because you're going to have a new buddy to be watching UFC fights with.
Max, you mentioned just then that you're always on the short list to fight Conor. I saw you guys have a little Twitter interaction the other day.
Yeah.
What do you think it is about you that clearly Conor respects you more than many of the other guys he's previously fought?
I mean, at the end of the day, me and Conor, you know, like a lot of people see me and Conor chit-chatting back. Like Conor, I don't say nothing to Conor that I wouldn't say to a training partner, you know what I mean? And Conor don't say nothing to me that he wouldn't say to a training partner. We some competitive guys, you know what I mean? Like, I'll probably be going to Twitter wars with him until he's 60. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, we're so competitive. That's just how it is, you know what I mean? And I got nothing but respect for him, but it's just a competitive. We understand what it takes to be here and to actually compete at this level. And who doesn't like some banter, you know what I mean? Banter is always fun, you know, we're in the business of entertainment too, so it's always good fun.
I see the month March mentioned a few times, and you said then the UFC have come to you with multiple options. Have they actually spoke to you about maybe Conor in March, or is that some wishful thinking by you?
I mean, I can't say nothing, you know? I mean, all I can say is just be ready, man. Use you guys' imaginations, because it's going to be a great ride.
At this point of your career, you know, you've been the champion so many times. Are you kind of looking for those fights, the 155 fights, the Conor fights, rather than maybe just fighting Alexander again, who you feel like you've already defeated?
I mean, at the end of the day, like I told you, man, I got 5 title fight wins. You know, 6-1 beat him, but we see what happens. You know, we see what happens. I can't give away too much. You know, I can't give away too much. I'm here. We got Yair first. Task at hand. We could take care of him, and then on forward, whatever direction we go.
Is the fight with Yair the puncher versus the kicker? Is it your boxing versus his spitty kicks?
I mean, my last fight I yelled, I'm the best boxer in the UFC, baby. So, I don't know. This fight I might be yelling, I'm the best striker in the UFC, baby. We're about to find out, you know what I mean? Or maybe I yell, I'm the best grappler or best wrestler. Who knows? Who knows what you're going to see? Tune in. Come Saturday night. It's going to be a fun one. I just can't wait.
Just as something is yelled.
Something is being yelled. They took my man DC, the number 1 contender and the baddest man on the planet. Because you're looking at the baddest man on the planet right now. They took him out of the. He's not fight side anymore. He told me that they told him that he does a little bit too much favoritism. So I guess I got a chit chat with my man Michael Bisping gonna be there. So he's gonna be getting yelled at about something.
What do you make about like Alex's suggestions that DC and the rest of the gang are a bit biased towards you?
I mean, I don't know. You know, I they said what they said. I kind of heard of it, but at the end of the day, like, go rewatch after the fight period. You know what I mean? The CEO, you know, the president of the UFC said what most people were saying. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that's just that's just people opinions. You know what I mean? It's just people opinions, and if you're getting hurt by people's opinions, you're in the wrong sport. You know.
Last thing for me, did you happen to see Daniel eating chicken fingers?
Brother, oh my gosh, man. I saw Danny eating chicken fingers. I saw him eating popcorn. He told me he went to the Dr. Pepper headquarters and they gave him some special ingredient one. I'm like, Daniel, you need to slow down, brother. I told you any weight, any time, but come on, man. Let's be reasonable.
He's just trying to get that advantage on you, bro. He's just putting on the weight.
I'm telling you, he's going to just try lay and pray on me. All good. Thank you, guys.
competing water bottles around here. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Oh, sorry about that. Thank you, bro. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Am I interrupting lunch?
No, you're good. You're good. Please, last time we saw you, obviously split decision loss. I know it's got to be a frustrating one for you. So I guess just kind of what lessons did you end up taking out of that fight?
Yeah, it's for me. I was just talking to the broadcast team about it. I feel like this fight, I mentally kind of got in the right place for. I'm training and fighting more for myself in this camp, and excited for myself to have a great performance this camp. Whereas it really wasn't. It didn't feel this way last time. Going through, I was not going through the motions, but not kind of more just excited for it to be over.
Really?
Whereas this time I'm genuinely excited for Saturday afternoon, not night, to be able to like put my best foot forward and walk away really proud. Whereas last time, like I said, it didn't feel like I was quite there.
Do you know what the source of that was? Were you able to nail down like why?
I have a pretty good kind of feeling, I guess. To be honest, I went through a pretty tough year last year. I lost my brother, so I went through a lot of just kind of like, questioning life, why am I, what I want to do with my life and this and that, and just maybe like the reasons. And it didn't really occur to me until after the fight that maybe I was fighting for like the wrong reasons, whereas this time I feel like I'm fighting for, like I said, really feel like I'm fighting for myself, just for my own, not pride, but just for my own, like, that good feeling inside that I'm going to get when I have a good performance.
That's
and,
awesome.
Whatever happens, which I fully am confident that I'm going to win first or second round, I really feel like I'm going to put my best foot forward. I'm going to walk away really proud of what I did on Saturday.
That's awesome. So is this like kind of a new passion that you feel like in a daily basis, like in the gym every day? I mean, is it kind of like a whole new mindset?
I definitely feel a difference. I feel this time, every time I would show up to the gym, well, of course, there's some off days, but for the most part, I feel like I was showing up excited to train. I was excited to get better. I was excited to pull off that awesome new move that I've been doing, or this and that. Just excited for my progress, and kind of making me more excited for the fight, for the event, for my performance. Like I said, whereas last time it was kind of just getting through it a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough. The matchup itself, right? I mean, not a lot of, I guess, choices in the featherweight division, but this is an interesting one, right? Somebody that's been away for 3 years. I mean, I guess, did you remember her? Were you familiar with her when they gave you the name? What did you think of the matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of waiting for Leah's name to be given to me for a few years. Yeah, I didn't know, until more recently what the delay was. But yeah, so they gave me the name. It was definitely someone that I've, have sort of followed. I haven't really dived deep into her career before that, but I expected it at some point, knowing that she was in the division and planning to come back at some point. So definitely, well-rounded fighter, and nothing but respect for her, as her service and everything. Like, can't say anything bad about her,
Yeah.
which is fine.
It creates like a unique preparation process, right? Because, I mean, I guess normally you would probably watch some tape and, okay, well, I see what the tendency's on, but 3 years, she could be like completely different, right? So, I mean, was there any value to kind of watching her fights, or do you kind of have to, I guess, have more of an open mind of what she's going to do in there?
For sure, pretty open-minded. Yeah, I personally didn't watch much. I know my coaches did, whatever they could find. Like you said, a lot of room for growth, and which direction that growth happened, question mark. So, kind of looking more inward and to what I'm going to do, what I'm going to bring to the table, and just be ready to implement my game plan.
Nice. Given your new mindset, are you thinking at all about like where this puts you or what it does? Because it's kind of a unique division, right? That even though you've had a couple of losses, you're still right there at the top. So, I mean, you could be fighting for a title in 1 or 2 fights. So do you think about that at all, or is this kind of, you kind of want to avoid that at this time?
I generally don't think past the one fight. So, yeah, this is the same this time around. I'm pretty much just focused on Saturday, and we'll see what happens after.
Fair enough. Last thing for me, I guess, what's your goal on Saturday? I mean, is it just to go in there and just get back in the win column, or is it like to go do some kind of statement-making performance where you're like, hey, that last one, that wasn't even me, like, I deserve all this hype?
Yeah, I'm not just here to win a decision or a split decision. I definitely am excited to have, like I said, a performance. If it lasted all 3 rounds, it better be a really damn exciting 3 rounds. It better really be either dominating in a fun way to watch. I want it to be fun to watch. So, but I definitely expect a fun finish. Something to be excited about.
Easy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Last time out, a very hard-fought victory over a tough opponent. I guess kind of what lessons did you take out of that fight?
你上一次打了一场非常艰难的比赛，那么对你来说有什么进步？有什么学到的经验？
是的，我在上一次比赛中学到了很多包括技术方面还有心理方面，所以上一场比赛对我的帮助非常大。对。
Yeah, the last fight helped me a lot, both mentally and technically. I've learned a lot of stuff. I had a lot of takeaways from the fight.
Very nice. And now a quick turnaround just 3 months later. Was that important for you to get back into the cage quickly?
你才3个月，然后马上就又要打比赛了。你马上打比赛对你来说是很重要的事情吗？
对，一直保持就是比赛的频率高频率的话，会对我的这种就是比赛经验增长很多，所以我也特别喜欢去跟不同的人打，然后这样能让我自己进步的很快。我也想很快的打进排名。对。
I feel like the frequency is the key, and fighting a little more gives me a lot of more experience, and I want to be ranked again soon. So yeah, that's what I've been aiming on.
Nice. Yeah, third fight of the year. You haven't been able to do that in a while. Is it difficult on the body? Is it tough to keep the schedule, or is this what you hope to do for the rest of your career?
你今年已经打了到第3场比赛了，那你的身体恢复状态怎么样？你是以后都想要这种比赛频率吗？
一般对我来说，我计划就是一年3场到4场比赛，所以在我身体没有受伤的条件下，我一般都是会打3到4场。所以这次比赛，上一次比赛完我也没有受什么伤，所以一直保持训练，所以就非常的好。
I was not injured in the last fight, and if I was not injured, I would like to keep this kind of pace. So yeah, usually I will just keep training if I'm not injured, and try to get as much as fight as I can.
Nice. What did you think about Julio as an opponent when it was the name they gave you? Was it a matchup that excited you, or what do you think?
就是这场比赛，这个对手他会不会让你感觉很激动，还是会有什么不同的感受？你对这个对手怎么看？
我也没有很激动，就是觉得因为我以前不了解他，没有听说过这个人，所以当我看他的比赛视频，我觉得他是一个非常强悍的对手，实力也比较强，所以这次我也做了很充足的准备。
This name doesn't really excite me because I don't know him that much, but I know he's a tough opponent, and I'm well prepared for this fight.
Yeah, I was going to ask, was there any disappointment that it wasn't a ranked opponent this time around?
你这次没有给你一个有排名的对手，你会不会有点失望？
我知道这个不是说我想打就能打的，是很多原因、很多因素造成的，所以我觉得就是无所谓。我打比赛就是为了提高自己，而且还可以赚钱，对。
I wasn't really disappointed because I know there are a lot of factors got to take into consideration. I just want to make money and fight more and gain more experience and grow as a fighter.
Nice. Stylistically, though, it looks like it could be a very exciting fight. Are you expecting this to be kind of a back and forth type fight?
就是这个比赛，你们俩的风格看来就是会成为一场非常精彩的比赛。你会不会就是觉得这场比赛会像就是上次那种一样的，是一个非常精彩的对攻？
很可能会，但是我想就是尽量去终结对手，我不想打太久。
Yeah, most likely, but I will try my best to finish the opponent instead of just going back and forth.
Yeah. You win here, I guess what's more important? Would it be to fight again quickly, or would it be to get somebody that's higher up in the rankings?
你是就是喜欢打这种对手，还是喜欢打那种就是排名比较高的选手？
每个人都想打排名比较高的对手，但是我觉得都 OK， 对我来说，我无所谓。对我现在没有像我刚开始打 UFC 那样，所以现在就。对我来说，就是锻炼自己、提高自己最重要。
I'm fine with any opponent. I mean, everybody want to fight a higher ranked fighter, but I'm not like I'm not like the person that when I first entered the UFC. So I'm okay with any opponent as long as I gain experience.
Nice. Last thing for me, I guess, what's the goal on Saturday? Is it just get a victory, or is it to do something spectacular and maybe get a little bit more respect and a little look up the rankings?
你周六是想就是只是获得一场胜利，还是就是打出一场非常精彩的表现，然后看有没有机会往上排名再往上顶一顶？
对，周六我就想，把我就是通过上一场比赛提高的经验，我觉得能够在这场比赛中发挥出来，然后争取能够打出一个漂亮的 KO 或者是拿到花红。然后挑战高排名的选手。
I got a lot of experience from the last fight, and I really want to try to put those experience into work for this fight. And I do want to try to get the performance bonus and really try to bump myself up in the ranking.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.